us.
We're all on the same team. We've got to work together.
I am in favor of this plan. Goldie Braun seems capable, despite his ridiculous name.
Very well. Attend my tale, for its folly cannot recur. Imagine ambivalent omnipotence, drifting in darkness.
Speaking of dark...
Such was my celestial solitude. Power without purpose, till uncovered by Raker. His crew were convalescent. Plagued by a pox, I was serendipitously suited to soothe.
A ship full of sick people just happens upon someone with limitless healing?
We were need and needed, symptom and solace. They worshipped the wonder of my ways and declared me divine.
I think we know where this is going.
I do not know where this is going.
This is the scary part!
As the flock of followers fawned, a dark delight developed deep within me. And in the shadows it spoke. Weak whelps, pernicious priesting, feeble fools fit for feasting. Hubris made hunger. A cancerous craving called Magus.
What did it want?
Complete devotion. I too heard this voice, and could hear nothing else.
Adulation, flagellation, gorged with grief and consternation.
I told you this was the scary part.
It was pure putrefaction, sown from the seed of my strength. My soul stone gone sour. I resolved to rip it out.
Rip it out? How?
A mechanical marvel wrought by Raker would sever the stone from my skull and excise the evil entangled within.
Translation: you let Raker steal your powers.
Whatever his wayward wander, he was on that day my friend. He swore to separate sanctity from sin, that my healing could yet be harnessed without harm.
Sure, but who's harnessing it?
Sounds like you were careless.
Deluded by desperation. My mind was melding with Magus.
Did it work at least?
In a savage sense, it split my soul in twain and cast us to the cosmos.
So, no.
For me, there was only darkness. I awoke half whole, certain the stone shattered. How Magus merged with another, I know not.
I think I can answer that. After I rejected my promise, I got pulled into Nikki's. Corel was there. She was trying to show me something.
Peter, you can't trust anything you saw in there.
This was different, and it felt different. She took me back to the QZ and I saw that Magus thing. I saw it get all twisted up with Nikki and I saw it kill Corel.
You hear yourself? How'd she show you this if she's dead?
Quite conceivably. Her soul may be snared by the stone, chained to the child.
That's what Corel said. The three of them are somehow connected. She said Nikki needs to accept her death.
Magus preys upon her pain, manipulates her mind while feeding on her flock of followers.
And I'm guessing it never gets full.
Its appetite is insatiable. If unassailed, Magus will absorb all.
We're gonna need one hell of a plan.
Well, you better come up with it quick, because I see daylight.
The bond between Magus and Matriarch must be broken. It harvests its hunger through the host.
So, Nikki's like the head vampire. If we cure her, it'll free the rest. Why didn't you just say that?
So step one, find Nikki.
Step 2, convince her mom ain't coming back from the dead.
Step 3, get that stone away from her and mop the floor with that Magus thing.
You show no shortage of assurance.
Yeah, this one's Mr. Positivity. It's enough to make you sick.
The stone is both bondage and bridge for Magus, and a young mind is most malleable. If If Magus is merged with hers, she may not survive the severing.
We won't let it come to that.
Not to join the Golden Downer, but how are we supposed to find the kid?
What's going...
What are you...
Oh, Flark.
They've got the Cortex. They can go anywhere, convert anyone.
Go now.
Why does that sound like you're not coming with us?
These are my people. Some still survive if I stay.
Then we'll stay and help.
Go. I'll be where I'm needed when I need to be. Just trust me.
Don't go dying on me. I'm starting to actually get you. You wanna pop a squat, Golden Boy? You're making me nervous.
Or perhaps your nerves need gnawing.
What did I do?
This precarious plan proves more meek by the moment. The Madonna was meant to be among us.
She knows what she's doing. Eventually.
Sorry sins I have wrought to wrest me among such a motley crew.
Did he? Did he take my room?
Not so much as a yip from the mud. Groot says he'll keep trying. Where's Mr. Fancy Words?
It is assumed Peter Quill's quarters was a daring display of dominance.
Don't you start.
Usually I'd say, who needs him, but we do. So you better fix this one, Quill.
Just try not to piss him off any more than he already is.
If it is to be a fight to the death, I will honor the outcome.
If he kills you, I get your guns.
Wouldn't bet on Peter winning that fight. Took all 5 of us.
There.
Won't fight. She'll focus on evacuating people. Maybe they can all hide in the caves.
So she's just gonna let the church take over her homeworld?
Mantis would tell you that people matter more than the planet. And she knows that the church won't stop coming until we rescue Mickey.
You have great confidence in this celestial Madonna.
She's one of the few people I know I can trust.
Really? She freaks me out.
Because she's smarter than you?
And kinder.
Hey, that nickname makes my skin crawl. I'm furry, not fuzzy. Not even that little.
So, Warlock. He's something.
Not sure we can trust the guy who looked at the Grand Unicorn himself and thought, the lad looks like a reliable rascal.
All right. Let the waves of calm wash over me. And go.
That's not how that works.
Oh, Gamora!
Since when do you meditate?
I don't, but desperate times and all. Stuff's been a lot lately.
I get it. How the help me do I get it?
So, how do you use this then? In case, you know, Rocket asks.
Well, for one, it isn't about just holding it. You also need a comfortable place to sit, where you can be relaxed but alert, and focus on your breathing. Then you practice. A lot.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot more work than I was hoping for.
Anything worth doing tends to be.
So how do you do it?
Focus was something Thanos beat into us early on. But it wasn't until I lived with the priests of Palma that I realized how limited his version of meditation really was.
How did you end up living with the priests of Palma? They're not exactly your kind of crowd with the whole pacifism thing.
Mantis introduced me to them last year when I needed to heal. They helped me in ways I didn't think were possible.
Helped? How?
I guess you could say I was broken. Thanos, the war, working as an assassin. It'd take a toll on you. By the time Mantis brought me there, I was ready to give up. I mean, I was miserable. Convinced I was beyond redemption or worth. I truly believed I deserved to die.
But you didn't. Die?
No. There was this boy there. A Khan.
The one you hugged in the village?
A Khan was like me. Lost. His parents had died in an accident. He was combative, rebellious, the opposite of a pacifist. The priest thought it would be a good idea for both of us to work through our scut together.
And was it?
At first, not really. He was a pain in the butt. But over time, we came to rely on each other. Thanos had taught me how to meditate in the functional sense, but not in the spiritual sense. Like how to work through my trauma. Caring for a Khan, he forced me to reflect and process. And together, through mutual support, Khan and I were able to overcome our demons.
I can't picture Thanos meditating. I kind of always figured he was this egotistical tyrant.
No, he totally was. But Thanos also understood that aspects of meditation could be useful to his cause.
Like focus?
Focus, increasing overall awareness, pain tolerance. He came up with a series of exercises, fun little games for me and Nebula to compete in as part of our training. The worst part was, we didn't even know what he was doing until it was too late.
What do you mean?
Thanos' brand of meditation warped us, turned us into hyper-focused weapons. That way we were numb to the horrors of his agenda.
Killing people.
Assassination is just a different name for murder.
So how did you cope?
We made puns. Bad, stupid jokes to shout as we were killing people. The more terrible, the better.
Here I thought you just had a really lame sense of humor.
Oh, I do. But it was the only way to survive. And it was something we did together, a new kind of competition, just between me and Nebula, to see who can make the other laugh.
That's really messed up, and yet oddly endearing.
Yeah, well, even bad puns can only get you so far before your conscience catches up with you.
Wow. I had no idea meditation could be so intense.
Or beneficial?
Well, yeah, that too. I guess I should give it a go sometime. Although I'm kind of scared of what I'll find.
Who knows? You might surprise yourself. I know I did.
Yeah, maybe.
My shoulders are sore.
Hey, Quill.
You seem like you're in a good mood.
Do I? I've got a great idea for a new blaster extension. Can't wait to put it together.
Well, now that the gang's back together and we've got a minute to breathe, I think you deserve an official thank you for what you did on Lamentus.
Quill,
I know you don't like that kind of sappy stuff, but I really mean it. Knowing about the crap those scientists did to you, not only does it make my blood boil, it puts everything into perspective.
Come on. It was just a puddle.
I don't know if I could have gotten over something like that.
You saved their lives, man. You deserve a bit of praise.
You rode and saved your lives, and scientists were involved. I have many questions.
Yeah, well, save them for the next time we all get a drink together, buddy. Let's make this quick. What do you want, Quill? And it's done! Ta-da! Now that was some quality crafting, if I might say so myself.
Hey, Warlock. Open up. This is my room, you know. And that would be my cassette cover.
You penned this pithy poetry?
It's not poetry, it's music. Hard rock. It's supposed to have guitars and bass and drums.
Simplistic scriptures, as is its scribe.
Okay. What's your deal, man? What did I do to piss you off?
Your lamentable leadership allowed the Madonna to leave when we needed her talents to travel to the telepathic realm.
Mantis had good reason to stay behind. We just need to get Nikki and get the hell out so we can find her again.
Your tenuous tactics trust too much to fortune. Can you confidently convince me your meager measures may amply manage this mission?
Yes. Absolutely.
Wise words. Sure and measured, but beheld by my bemused misgivings, your demeanor differs distinctly in direction from my more willful ways.
Maybe we can meet in the middle then.
Yes. An oath! Will you own an oath to operate with greater aggression? To give gravitas to gravid seasons of your soul and struggle not to stand on destiny's icy flows?
Sure, man. Whatever it takes.
Then assert it!
I swear I'll be a good leader. That I'll be decisive and that I won't let Mantis do whatever she wants.
I stand partially reassured.
What about you, Mr. Fancy Words? How do I know you won't see Raker and have a change of heart?
Why would I weasel away?
Didn't you used to be best buds with him?
We were common company for a fleeting fallow, through which I witnessed the incommensurable extent of his sadness. He mourns his lost son.
That's why he's doing all of this. The church, the matriarch? Because he wants to get his kid back. But that can't happen, right? Magus can't...
No. Cannot.
So? We can count on you? When you reunite with Raker, that man's gotta go down.
Indubitably.
So, how is he?
Frustrating. It's like talking to Suzanne Harris at the summer dance all over again.
Ain't that the Hume girl you tried to impress with your yo-yo skills?
Yeah, and it went about as well as talking to Mr. Cape.
What's a yo-yo?
Did you reach Cosmo? It may be up to us to stop the church in nowhere. You ready?
He's worried about the mutt. Says it will be easier with his help.
I didn't think Cosmo would let the church take over a station, but if they got the Cortex, then...
He is but one canine against the army of the converted. I hope Peter Quill has convinced our guest to fight alongside us.
Judging from the tone of voice, he was more annoyed than convinced.
Which one? Quill or Golden Boy? They both sounded annoyed.
Annoyed or not, we have to work with him. We need someone strong enough to keep Raker in check if we want any chance to get to Nick.
explains why we ain't been able to reach Cosmo. If you don't answer it, they'll vaporize us.
I will handle this communication.
All yours, buddy.
Hail, traveler. Have you accepted the truth of a divine promise?
We have. My deceased wife and daughter are with me. Thank the matriarch for her gift.
May the promise be fulfilled. You are clear to land at the spaceport.
All them bars and betting parlors.
And noodle joints.
Maybe it's not as bad as it looks.
I assume it will be worse.
Raker rallies regiments while we wait whistling in the wings.
Landing as fast as I can, Gold. What the flark?
Great! Cocoon Boy thinks he's a butterfly now!
He is a man of action.
Let's just hope that he can keep the church busy while we look for Nikki.
Didn't think you'd be able to bluff your way through security muscles.
I am quite adept at deception.
We're gonna need more than that to get to the Continuum Cortex and rescue Nikki.
Especially with Golden Boy jumping ship. Should we, like, try to find him?
Time is running out. We cannot lose focus if we are to save the girl.
Drax is right. Let's just hope Warlock can do a bit of damage on his side. So, final showdown against Raker. This time, you'll get him for good.
I intend to. We're not leaving here without Nikki.
You take care of the Milano, okay? Make sure the ship's still here when we come back.
I am Groot.
Groot wants you to know he'll do all he can to save your kid.
You know what? I think I kinda understood that.
Your kid sure got herself in a deep, Quill.
Her mom died, man. If Warlock's telling the truth, that thing inside her is using Corell's death to manipulate her.
I get it. Ain't gonna be easy getting her out of there, but I'll die trying.
Ready, Drax?
I am. My blades are as sharp as the rodent's tongue.
Was that a metaphor?
It was a simile.
Let's do this. Time to save Nikki.
Peter?
Okay. Just be cool. Let me handle these guys.
Welcome, travelers. Have you come to witness the fulfillment?
The what now?
The realization of the Matriarch's promise? The beginning of a new world, one without death, or pain, or fear. You should know this. Weren't you vetted and cleared to land here?
What? Of course we were.
How are you not aware of the fulfillment? Something is wrong. These heretics must be stopped. Attack!
Keep them busy, crew! Blitz them rockets! Toss them around! Hit them!
Another crazy cult is dealt with!
These fanatics only understand violence! Face me!
What the? Coach is choosing his team members!
This one is primed for punishment!
Keep the herd coming!
My great strength goes underutilized!
Buy some time, crew!
Guys! He's reeling! Pile on the pain! Cut to the chase!
Blacko's better prey their new world comes without death or pain or fear. Cause I'm gonna kill him for flarking up this spaceport.
They have been very busy redecorating.
All the more reason for us to get to the Cortex and find Nikki.
The rift's the end of the known universe, but don't see how it figures into anything.
You can tear it out, right?
I will comply. The promise is to be realized here. Converted will be flocking in to witness it. Are we the only new arrivals?
We must be late. We need to move if we want to find Nikki. Scott! Cosmos Tower's shut down.
That's because it's never been dark before. You do realize some of the guys shooting at us were nowhere security?
This does not bode well for the dog.
Never was the Mutt's biggest fan, but we could have used the backup telepath.
If Cosmo is on their side, getting to the Cortex could be a lot harder.
Just because the tower shut down doesn't mean Cosmo is too. Last time we were here, he knocked out me, Gamora, and Drax, and Lady Hellbender's bounty hunters, like it was nothing. You just gotta have faith he's okay.
Really, Peter? Faith?
There does appear to be an excess of it stored here.
We're wasting time, Peter. I don't like the sound of that fulfillment thing. What was that?
He says you, seem tense. A lot of ships patrolling.
Just be thankful they aren't shooting at us.
Won't hear me complaining. Anybody see any this way to the fulfillment signs?
No. I will inform you if I observe any.
Thanks.
Dreading what we're gonna see in the marketplace.
The same thing we saw when we flew in.
Yeah, but it'll be up close. Nowhere really stunk sometimes, but...
Flark! Over there!
There's so many of them. I thought most nobodies would have rejected the promise.
Everyone wants something they can't have.
Yeah, I don't know, Rocket. Like Gamora said, everybody wants something.
The church tailors their offer to the individual.
Seems to me most of them would give in.
Or they'd be killed. Not an easy choice.
They got Flark and Faith batteries everywhere.
Just like on Hala's Hope.
Perhaps they have built another giant ray gun inside the Continuum Cortex.
To siphon faith from multiple worlds at once? Is that even possible?
The energy ain't filling these batteries. It's moving away from them.
So they're powering something.
Sure looks like it. Wonder if any of these fortune tellers saw this coming.
Unlikely. They were all charlatans.
Most of them were pickpockets and fences. Pretty useful people to know. Lousy fun flarkers! Get ready to die!
They do not fear death.
Don't mean we can't hurt them first.
Let loose, Rocket!
At least they go down easier than the bucketheads.
That didn't work.
I'm going in.
What about the fanatics?
I'll toast them if I see them. We're the only ones that can do this, right? Clear back here, Quill. Looks like you're gonna have to yank a chunk free from this side, though.
If I can find a way over there. Gamora, you should be able to get your sword in there now. Give me a boost.
Let's hope it holds.
Oh, Scott! Not Mantlos. Look at her. This is personal, Quill.
Peter, let's go!
When we are done here, we will need to tell a Rhapsodus about these adventures.
Oh, what?
They are the keepers of Catathian lore. This will be an epic tale.
I know how much you love this dive.
It was the one spot in this whole Flarkin galaxy where a guy could feel safe. I mean, except for the bar brawls and the security raids and the bounty hunters.
We'll drink to it later. Right now, we've got to keep moving.
I've been thinking about what Warlock said.
Which part? He hasn't stopped talking since we met him.
About how Nikki and that Magus thing might be too intertwined to save her.
Is that what he said? It's easier to understand Bug Lady. Don't suppose we could try tricking them again? Make them believe we're all promised up?
Not unless you can fake that purple glow they all seem to have. I had a contact here. Rotations ago.
You did? Was it Blood? No. Shadupun. Yeah, what do we need the Golden Boy for anyways? We were doing fine without him.
I was not fine. Magus was devouring my soul. Your memory is suspect.
You know why we need Warlock to stop Magus's space magic ritual? We don't know space magic!
Yeah, because that ain't a real thing.
Man, I'm not so sure anymore, not after Lamentus. None of this makes any sense, but Mantis gave us somebody who can fight it.
Somebody who also makes little sense.
Exactly! I think. He can deal with his evil twin.
I'm surprised the church was able to seize the Cortex. It seemed pretty secure last time.
Wasn't half as secure as the dog thought.
The Church's forces increased by the tick. Their superior numbers could have easily breached the defenses.
Well, we got just the 5 of us. Filling us all with confidence there, big guy.
The destruction is pretty massive.
Guess that means some of the crooks here put up a fight.
A valiant effort in the face of certain defeat.
They must have started the fulfillment already. What? I just figured there'd be more converted around up here.
Sweep nearly complete.
What must it feel like to have one's soul torn in two?
He's dropping in!
They'll be dropping like flies soon enough! Danger close, Rocket! Sick of tracks! Prepare yourself, Neil!
Deadliest woman in the galaxy! Silence is chanting!
This looks like a dead end.
For some more than others.
Hard to believe how much the place has changed.
Even if they rebuild, it'll likely never be the same.
Looks like the church is trying to keep us out of there.
That's not gonna work.
Whoa. The Emporium used to be right here. Did the church destroy it?
Doubt it. The Collector probably blasted out of here at the first sign of trouble.
Before the first sign, Collector's supposed to be able to see the future.
Wait, how did he move the whole Emporium? Wait, how did he move the whole Emporium?
It was a ship.
Huh. Never would have guessed it from the inside.
Maybe it's more of a shuttle. Groot's right. We're getting distracted.
Our level of cooperation is invigorating. We have become a formidable team.
Yep, sure have, Drax.
Ain't we just one big, happy Flarkin family?
What are you doing with that garbage?
She's not garbage.
Behold the power of the light! Via Magnati! The Guardians of the Galaxy! Save the believers and alert the Grand Unifier! The movement must not be stopped!
That's it! We finally snapped!
Gamora! Wait for us! Groot, snag him! You aren't the only one fighting this battle, Gamora!
Face us!
What the fuck, Gamora?
Right in the head right now!
Quiet down! Lob it at him, big guy!
There are more arriving!
Wreck him, Drax!
No, it ain't my fault he's acting like this!
No fair! He's boosting everyone but us!
Let's sever his ties that bind!
Cut him down, Groot! At least we stopped whatever that priest was doing here!
The full argument? Nah, can't be that easy.
Rocket! Go wild!
Save your ammo! Hit the street with a special surprise!
You won't ruin her this time!
Well, we might have a problem.
Take your peace!
Whatever happens, not running in.
The larger one is mine!
Throw that, Drax! Keep your breathing room, Groot!
No, it ain't my fault he's acting like this.
Not again!
Send it that way, Drax!
I was
You? Good?
Never better.
Yep, definitely not good. Gamora, wait! Hold on a sec!
Why? So more children can be sacrificed in the name of Raker's flarked up church?
Of course not,
Just what, Peter?
I don't know. Breathe.
Every minute we waste. We don't have time to breathe.
I know Raker brings back bad memories.
This isn't about Thanos. It's about Nikki and what men like Raker and Thanos do to girls like her. Like me. My sister. If I had just been better at protecting Nebula, maybe she wouldn't be dead.
Whoa. What? Nebula's dead? How? By who? Tell me, so I can find him and shake his Ratak in hand.
By me.
You killed your sister?
She is the one you saw in the Matriarch's promise.
That's how I knew it was a lie. The Nebula I knew had been twisted into a hateful, vengeful monster thing. One who would never stop unless I stopped her. So I did. I just never expected to survive.
Why didn't you say something?
It's not exactly a conversation starter. Hi, I'm Gamora. I murdered my sister. Can we be friends? Of course we can't. How can you be friends with a monster? Why would you want that on your team? A team I actually kind of enjoyed being on. All things considered.
Well, I hate Nebula, so I actually would have... What? I'm just saying it don't change nothing.
Actually, it changes everything. The most deadly woman in the galaxy just admitted she loves us.
I did not.
You did. You said you were in love with us right after the part about killing your sister.
I said I enjoyed your company.
That is the Catathian definition of love.
I'll give you like. Can we just move on?
Agreed. That's about all the love fest I can take.
We accept you, Gamora Zenwilbury.
Pretty sure we're married now.
This is excruciating.
All right, I'm pretty sure we've all caught our breath. Let's say we go stop a nutjob cult leader.
Yes.